first millennium BC and characterized by an intensive process of decomposition of tribal relations, the formation of new social forms. Genetically, the structure of the social structure can be represented as follows: a group of smaller related families, a nomadic community, a tribe, a union of tribes, a state. The Sarmatian society was formed on the basis of military democracy and dealt with international and external issues. Army commanders resolved issues only in the ranks of the military unit without consulting with the entire public. The main parts of army numbered among the people were archers. Unlike other neighboring tribes, women and men had equal rights and participated in the military campaigns, so the Sarmatian military democracy had the same effect for women and men. In a military democratic society, the leadership of the country is in the hands of commanders and heroes along with the tribal.
The modern world is created by war. The size of all the people's property, tribal leaders, commanders, king, heroes initially had a large share and later even completely, which greatly led to property inequality, which contributed to the formation of a group of rich and the poor. This has led to social inequality and class division. In the end, due to numerous wars and changes in governance, a state under the rule of the king and a queen appeared they were elected by only one clan. So the hereditary board was created to solve the most important state affair. Um, the stars sometimes convened the people assembly called the Bew meeting. This shows that there was a democratic principle in the state system. The Tsar ruled the country through his troops. They were considered representative of the king in a certain region or tribal. The next generation in the management system was the military tribal aristocracy, where in the social structure of the Saxons, the royal family stood at the top of the social ladder. The king was chosen only from this clan. The tradition was also the system of the Huns who lived on our land after.
In the next evolution of the government, particular tribal relations were noticed. The mobile group defined the interests of the aristocratic family and solved all problems as a leader. The troops was divided into 24 clans and the head of the elders, the council of beasts, and the people's assembly worked also slaves who prisoners of war. The clans from Shanyu ruled the country, contributing of the emergence of private ownership of livestock and land. The creation of a primitive apparatus exists of taxes and writing led of the emergence of classes, society and state in the society of hundred. Also, the livestock was the private property of the domestic association. The pastures of the tribes were divided into possessions and wealth in the hands of tribal leaders. Intertribal relations intensified. The existence of private property can be judged by the marking on the ceramic, bone and metal objects. The area of the excavated oculars varies. Some of the height of 10, 12 meters and area of up to 40 meters. Judging of the counting quality things buried with the human remains, tribal leaders and nobles were buried in large mounds, and ordinary members of the community were buried in the smaller mounds. The leaders of clans and tribes, named Bek, obeyed the so-called Gunmo. The association of houses used the demential control system. The ruler divided his dependents among his children, giving each of them 10,000 soldiers and land of resettlement. The Beks defended this picture from others, with help of armed force.
Finally, I would like to conclude that continuous wars contributed to the maturation of the Kazakh statehood, which accelerated the processes of evolution of the initial forms of state institutions, as well as overcoming tribal fragmentation and creating a structure of society that best meets the needs of mobilization and organization of military forces. This was achieved through a combination of tribal and military structures and subordination of the former to the latter. At the same time, in the process of such conquest, the usual decentralized organization of nomads is replaced by a strong and centralized organization, without which it is impossible to conquer settled agricultural states.